What's that? I need to purify myself? Alright. It's just 4 minutes, guys, no
Greetings.
problem.
Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for checking this video out too. It's a very important message, and we like to ask everyone to take the time to watch this video in full. Were we to visibly see the energetic fields of the collective consciousness in the world, we would find them to be polluted. We might call this contaminated with sin or
We might find them polluted, though. We might. But if you find enough gold and you understand what spiritual mindset is, I don't think spirit science comes even close to understanding that. Alright? It's just trying to appeal to like spiritual people who love the word spiritual to begin with and all the fucking symbolism that comes with it. But I'm not here to, break down this channel because it just popped into me that, well, it exists and I don't care about it. And why do I not care about it? Because it's boring. It's just boring. And unfortunately, spiritual mindset is capable of breaking down any problem that you might encounter in your life. Your spiritual mindset is capable of either like offsetting it, breaking down immediately. There's so many solutions possible, and once you transcend as a problem solver, you realize that first of all, a mindset is important. The way you see problems. And once you start changing your perspective so many times, it becomes a spiritual adventure because you can start realizing the perspective can get better and better and more evolved next level each time. And there's so many of them to choose from as well. So, and there's certain perspectives that we live under right now, like science, actually corrupting spirituality, apparently, because, again, this channel exists. Goddamn spirit science. And, there was even drama going all the way back, like 10 years back. Some dude was trying to attack this channel. I probably would bring that back up. Why people laugh at spirit science or something. There was like an entire series. That would be interesting to break down. So I guess I put it in my to-do list. See, the thing is, I'm not subscribing to that point of view that people should laugh at spirit science. I'm just subscribing to the fact that this channel is not gold, does not capture value, and most channels don't. They just got inflated. Because, effort matters, and whoever puts effort has to be rewarded by inflation of their egos and whatnot. And, cool. But now you have to survive. Now it's a survival stage in the world. And again, if you a little bit spiritual, we're going down, bro. We're going down right now. Downhill we go. Since 2022. I bring that up now multiple times. We're in the apocalypse period. Or, a sensitive person would think, like, this is terrible. This is terrible. Alright? Obviously, if you get to live and breathe, it's not that bad. But for me personally, I can't even choose whether I'm sensitive or not. I live a very, very harsh life, where resources are very scarce, and I have to appreciate everything and understand that putting effort is key to succeed. Because you can't succeed unless you, try to even understand and comprehend what success is all about. And the first thing about spiritual thing that we need to understand is obviously definitions, principles, and effort is key. you know. While the keys are also keys. Can you imagine? Keys are keys. Ability to go through doors and collecting opportunities. So I have to say an opportunities. You know. So you have a whole list of things, which is another birthday cake, so it doesn't belong here. It belongs in a special spot over here. So we have to rebuild a birthday cake. Expanding on these 4 things, basically. Let me just grab the emojis and stuff. So we have definitions, principles, effort, and opportunities. Starting with definitions, why do you need that? What does that matter, bro? To understand things, obviously. But it's so much more than that, right? Because you can literally define anything you want the way you want, first of all. So it's better to look from the almighty perspective, the God's perspective. You define what a thing is and what it does, at least to yourself. But sometimes you can convince other people on how things work. And so, it has this emotional capacity. Alright, emotional definitions have emotional capacities. Basically, what is important, how things are used, whether they're worth looking at and obsess over. All these little things can be defined. You can figure them out, or even fake that. You know, try and fake that. Try and inflate your own weird definition, whatever you're introverted about. And again, on extrovert version, you just kind of figure out what exactly a certain thing is supposed to do. Again, there's a lot to explore in life. I mean, what a computer does. What is the definition of computer? You can figure out, or you can build your own computer software, most importantly, because computers usually don't really want to change unless they need more power to run things. That's cool. But maybe they don't. Maybe they need less power. You can only figure out by defining things. Then you have principles. So let's call it spiritual cake. You know, what a spiritual mindset requires. Requirement for spiritual mindset. Let's see requirements. So now we get to principles. I use this word exponentially, dude. More and more, whenever I can squeeze that word, I will not stop. Just like the word vibes is kind of cool, but the word principles is ridiculous. Because literally, this is how the world works, and this is the facts of the world. And when those are the facts. The facts is not like whether your dog ate shit last morning. You know, that's not a fact, unfortunately. Because you can't fucking spread it around to other people. Because it literally changes, right? My dog ate shit last morning. My neighbor's dog ate shit last morning. It literally changes based on perspective. Principles don't fucking change. Based on perspective, it literally is entangled into reality. It's just how reality works. So that immediately tells you that it's a principle if it doesn't change, if every single person can say the same thing and pretty much have a same understanding of that thing. That is a principle. It's not even a definition. All right, it's a whole nother thing. Even though technically if you put enough emotions, you get a bunch of facts. because you get a self-expression. But in order to truly express yourself, you need to follow principles of how to make sure that people actually hear you and understand what you're trying to say. Understand what things are important to you and not. So that's how you actually control facts, and the way you control emotions by definitions. You can see this is like a more control type, like core. Like a factory is a weird thing. Like a throne, you can define it so many ways. But it's the core thing that controls what we're trying to describe here. So what do facts turn into? Do we remember? Of course we remember, because emotions, facts, we can literally retrieve that. Emotion, feeling? Please. Feelings into facts, blah blah blah. Should be able to find a whole list, but I can't. But I do remember another thing, which is a timeline, basically. You have your future, or rather, there's a better word for it, skills, because effort creates skills. And without principles, you also can't actually build skills. But you can have all the principles in the world if you don't put effort. Because, again, you have limited amount of effort you can put in. You have limited life, basically. And technically, you want a lot of things in life, but, again, life is meant to be limited. So things matter, actually, matter. And skills can be, tested and put into a competition environment where some have better skills than others. And now you can respect other people and connect to them. It's a whole list of things that happen through effort. And technically, this is where effort matters, Once you learn all the principles is the next step. Technically, that's what I'm doing, making a YouTube channel, because I pretty much handle principles for the most part. For the most part, it's still a mix between principles and effort for me, because I'm still learning how to improve principles, and my effort is more just to press record, and not much more of an effort, just to make sure I can do this and people somewhat can actually tune in to my work. And if I can help them some other ways, I will try and do that, because why not? But somehow I am capable of silencing people just as well as reality is, so I don't have to worry about that shit. Because I'm not sure what people feel when they watch my videos. I'm not sure. Are they overwhelmed by my knowledge? That would be nice. So where do we go from here? Skills, because that is unexplored territory for me. It's beyond the future. It's something else entirely. What is that? Death? Is that burn? Is that transcendence? What is that? So if I type future, can I get the cake, please? I need it, guys. Here it is. Here's the cake that I'm referring to. It's a health cake. So you have a physical body, mental body, future, and little existential body. So what does that mean, bro? Little, your entire existence is at stake. While your future is at stake by your skills, your entire existence is at stake for how you handle opportunities and which doors you unlock for yourself. Because effort can only go so far, and your skills can only go so far. You have to open a door and keep it open for yourself. You have to make sure that no one fucking steals your shit, or blocks it, or hacks into it. So, you have to make sure that, well, your effort works and actually gives you what, you know, what is required for your existence to be extended. It's kind of like a vampiric ideology of trying to survive for as long as possible. That is definitely a strategy, basically. But what does it take sometimes? Um, so it's nasty, bro. I think this part is just like absolutely corrupted, especially by science. And that is the stuff that we might want to question quite a bit. What actually is this existential thing? It could be purpose, and honestly, or like a goal. Purpose. Purpose sounds fine. So now you have a skill, right? You have developed all this. It's a no-brainer. It's like you have to put it into something that is the most valuable thing you can put it into. I also kind of have a purpose, but at the same time, I'm also, searching if my purpose stays the same. And so far, it kind of is. It's kind of it sounds like, let's save all them celebrities and stuff, and I am YouTube CEO because this is the easiest position for me to take, where I will be saving celebrities and their, you know, lifestyles if they want to be saved. Because you must understand, being a celebrity is a very temporal thing, especially if you live a luxurious lifestyle. It's very temporal, all right, because your money is gonna go down the drain as well, all right. Right now, as the apocalypse accelerates downwards, well, we're going into some very uncharted territories, all right. Right now, literally, people's brains should be on fire, realizing that they might not be relevant for too long. I mean, any country can now get into a crisis of some kind. Every country can be on fire themselves, and you might be living in a weird territory yourself, where some laws can change. TikTok can be banned, or something can be banned. Even YouTube itself got under fire for, its algorithm. That's what's happening right now. This is just stage 2 of apocalypse. We're gonna realize more and more scary things, and the more scarier life is, the more difficult it is actually to maintain relevancy. So, that's where we're gonna start, guys. Understanding apocalypse more and more is quite fascinating, but this is not what we're gonna focus on. So, celebrities need saving from, because the unstable world is going to loot them eventually. And again, what is happening last 2 years? Well, besides Russia invading, and inflation, and bans, and threats for the internet in general, there's one more thing called AI, which is actually willing to not replace jobs, manual labor and stuff. What it's actually willing to do is just replace everything that we see on the internet. Literally everything. Everything replaced with AI is what is actually being threatened. No one saw that coming. All right? No one saw that, oh, AI is going to just do those robotic things and make self-driving cars. That didn't work. But what did work is literally replace everything on the internet. Everything. I'm not even talking about images or videos or voices. Literally every single pixel on your fucking screen is gonna be replaced with AI. Yeah, it is that bad. Because those pixels, well, the government can insert their intentions, corporations can insert their intentions, communities can insert their intentions, and society can insert their intentions. Literally every pixel on your screen is going to be sold. Like your soul is going to be sold, basically. There might be a version that you can opt out from, but this is where it's going to start. Right now, it's starting to, corrupt every single establishment, which, again, mostly celebrities are the establishment. People that we know are going to get corrupted and dismantled by the AI. It's the first step. And then things are going to continue. Because we're going to, why stop there? But we will have to stop because Apocalypse loves switching narratives. So luckily for us, Apocalypse is not going to linger and stay focused on AI. We're just going to throw AI in the trash bin as if a new thing showed up that is way more interesting and way more important. That's how it's going to work. It's even crazier. But literally every pixel on your screen will be controlled by AI and sold to higher powers. I mean, imagine what kind of spiritual mindset you need to have to break down even the concept and to make it into reality on the spot. I didn't script none of these things. I just know. All right? It just comes to me, guys. What do I do? That's what spiritual mindset is all about. All right. Well, we can just orbit. Let's go orb. There's crystal ball. It still sucks. Alright, Christ. So, the spiritual mindset is about generating information on your own. Information, not necessarily facts. It's kind of transcendental of everything that we talked about. Definitions, facts, skills, even purpose. Once you have all these 4 ingredients, you can start generating information. You can go to the next level, which is spiritual mindset. And for as long as you can keep spiritual mindset activated, well, it's the most valuable thing you can do to society, technically, is try and survive in that position. Not very easy, but, that's the spot. Let's put it that way. So, I can achieve that, and it's not easy. Alright, you must understand, my lifestyle is something people can't replicate. It just happened naturally, and that is the craziest word ever. Word naturally should blow you away. Alright? The greatest shadow word. To understand the things that happen naturally, I mean, there's a whole science for it, Science loves to explore that territory, and they barely scratch the surface of the word naturally. What does it mean for things to happen naturally? So in my case, I naturally, found myself in the shadows. it almost fucking destroyed me. And I barely come out alive, but at the same time, who fucking cares? I got this life for free. So as long as I keep myself alive, and not only I got this life for free, but as well as everyone else, but it's still like I didn't transcend anywhere unless I get to survive, and then I start transcending. But then again, if I'm ahead of everyone, I cannot be blamed for losing my life or losing anything. To be honest, the blame is not on me, and I don't think you guys can handle the blame that what would happen if I lost anything. Lost anything. Alright? Unless it had happened through my consent. It's the only way. And it still makes no sense, right? It still makes no sense. But why do I bring up the word naturally in such a potent way? Because, well, you roll the dice, and naturally, you can sort of get the result that you want, right? But you say it's random, though. Yeah. I didn't say you need a certain outcome of the dice. No. You naturally understand that the dice cannot be used to get a certain outcome. Most people are fixated on the dice landing on a certain spot and you getting a certain random outcome. You can't do that. Naturally means every single outcome of the die you're prepared for, you have maximum output to that you can use regardless of what happens. You prepared for every strategy in the maximum way. You're not just putting all the eggs in one basket. Whatever that means. Because the basket can be stolen, basically. But it's not like eggs grow. You have to be able to split your seeds accordingly, so the seeds don't interrupt each other, and if there's a seed that gets an opportunity to grow, meaning you roll the dice properly, you naturally win. Naturally means, in other words, knowing, beating the dice odds is the definition of naturally. Because you simply can't lose. That's what naturally is inability to lose. You know, every single day that I wake up, I can't lose. Even if I tried, it would be pretty difficult. Alright? Because I don't know how to. You know, it's just, I don't know. Everything I would do would be a success. It's just, I want to do things that result in a specific future for me, and I have specific purpose. So those things are hard to achieve. But normally I would just win, because I have plenty of actual inner resources, spiritual resources that I can spend to always win, no matter what the outcome of the dice is. I have a perfect comeback to that shit. That's the word, naturally. You know, not only but the question is, how the fuck did you get the die in the first place? The dice. Die. Fuck off with your stupid die, man. Oh my god. Bones die? What is that shit, bro? Who named die? 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 Dice is multiple. So, what is the singular of dice? Now I have to ask Google. Holy Jesus. Yeah, it's die. It's called die. That is hilarious, bro. And people are willing to walk into casinos knowing that a fucking one of the most notorious pieces of technology invented is called die. Are you fucking kidding me? You renamed this. Who rename it before it starts working? So you know what naturally is now for sure, right? You naturally get bad things. You know, you get the bad things. Life gives you the bad things, trying to fucking stab you in the face, enslave you, put you in a fucking, you know, terrible situation where you can be leeched off. Just leeched off. Everything you do, technically everything we doing right now on the internet is gonna be leeched off, gonna be used by AI, we're just gonna be replaced. Who fucking cares, right? It's a masterpiece. Every single, trick that people are trying to do, the only problem is, the only thing we have is a very simple principle to fight back with, is called, you gonna die too, bro. You gonna die eventually too, bro. It's the only principle we have. Death is somehow blissful principle to follow, really. Hoping that, well, and again, death comes in mysterious ways. It doesn't come when you actually die and disappear and you can't breathe anymore. It happens all the time. Alright? Bad feelings, bad principles, someone punched you in the facials, everything is death. If it damages your, well-being, everything is death. And at some point you just have to shut your life entirely because you're so damaged and so dead inside. You just gotta shut it down. You have that button somewhere, somehow. It's just you're not convinced that you should press it. Death is something that happens all the time, and you have the button for it. But you're not yet convinced that you should press it. I'm not here to convince you guys to press the button. What I want you to be convinced of is that all these idiots who think they know something, who think they have established something, you gotta compete against them. I give you the green lights to compete against them, to make your own shitty YouTube videos, and beat them with that. Because the shittier your YouTube videos, and the more views you get, that's the craziest part. You can win just with skills and knowledge alone, and minimal effort, just to focus on yourself, not focus on the audience, focus on yourself. And technically, again, you define whether you won or not. It's the fun part of life. So you can win any competition as long as you define what you want to win, what you're actually trying to win here. That's where you literally start. You start by defining that. What is fun to you? What do you want? Kind of. Because you need to wish for things that are very easy to achieve. You take that and you leave. And there's a lot of things like that. But people are very fucking blind. And so that's another reason to adopt spiritual mentality, is to understand what are valuable things, like actually valuable things that are also kind of free. There's many valuable free things you can get, but only with the crystal ball, unfortunately. Spiritual mindset. I love it. I sit here, I accumulate knowledge. It's fascinating. I can't complain. Despite lack of communication. But it's like, it's your choice, not mine. I can't blame myself for not having communication. I can only establish a way to talk to myself and stuff. And honestly, that burns bridges. It's still not my fault. Not my fault, bro. Because with enough skill, you can do whatever you want. You can build whatever you want. But if you don't have skill, you're just a pathetic loser. I don't want to look at you. And I'm not even talking about purpose. Holy Jesus. Most people don't have a ditsy bitsy of purpose. Alright, these are levels you have to reach. But even with skills and purpose missing, the craziest thing that most people miss, even principles. They miss that shit. That's crazy. The most important principle you can test is whether people run away from you for no reason. Even though you're not hostile, did you just run away? A principle of not showing fear. That one. It's pretty simple, not gonna lie. You gotta not show fear. I mean, when we're talking about our classmates meeting, I don't even know which button to press to leave the thing. Okay, I actually do know, and it's very easy to find. A much harder thing to find is actually like adding people. It's still just a button right here. Okay, I don't know then. I don't know. Literally 2 buttons to press and you can leave. That sucks. But things that are like easy to do, like it's easy to walk away, right? In real life, it's easy to walk away. But why should you do that? Doesn't it symbolize something? Doesn't it mean something? So, a principle is to understand all the possibilities, all the definitions of the thing you're about to do. And if you're not building any of these levels, and if you're not even reaching for the principle level, I mean, so the first thing, probably the first principle you might learn, one of the super powerful ones, it's never really worth doing what's easy. Never really worth doing that one. Alright, if it's easy, it's probably not worth doing. Alright? You gotta pick on some challenges. Every now and then. You know, I'm like full of it. I've learned the principle, I don't worry about that. Sometimes I worry, poke myself if things that I'm doing are easy and boring. But that's that's how I deal with that's why I have the demon of boredom. Hi, demon of boredom. Why do I have it? Because it's the most important evil for me to fight against or grow. I don't know which one is it, so I keep a fucking demon. And he's happy, I'm happy. Alright? I have to feed it, or smack it in the face, or battle it, I don't know. That's the relationship, guys. But I have to have it. Have it close. Not give it to anyone else anymore. So, that's a very cool principle. Every principle is listed as a red circle here, so... No, not red car. Shut the fuck up, man. Fuck me, bro. I mean, I don't think it's a coincidence. Back in the day, I didn't know what gay was. For me, it was just a weird fucking term. being tossed around. Now gay is somehow sacred thing. Like, I don't see a coincidence. It's just people got conditioned into liking what they hate. You know? Can't wait for pedophiles to be liked all of a sudden. Something like that. Predators, murderers. Let's praise that, am I right? Condition ourselves. It's almost like that's what the news want to do. But yeah. Once you understand that naturally we only get bad things. Alright? Almost like even life itself is a bad thing to get. Unless you take control over it. You know. Bad things is just a place to start, a placeholder. You know. Bad things should not be accepted. They just help you start. Alright, I have to overflow that bad thing that happened, guys. Blue square. You know, bad things is something to work with, to start with, not to accept it. So, do you like die? Die? You like die? Roll die? Roll and die? I mean, I will turn into Chinese little shit. If you keep the word die in your system, I'll use it. You know, against you. Because you're fucking stupid. You're not supposed to have bad things. This is why I use bullshit episodes to try and filter out that shit out of my system, and at the same time, it could resonate with some other people too, as a cool little bonus, you know. But right now, technically, like, I don't know how much filters I can put on myself. It's like it's getting tough. All right, so I'm putting slightly more effort maybe into expressing myself. But right now it's still, you know, I'm scooping the bullshit. Trying to find more bullshit in society so I don't get bumped into that, sucked into that shit. And well, you know, it just happens. You find it so easily. Wait, I have to exaggerate my burper. The first reason to laugh at spirit science, first of all, obviously, it's not spiritual mindset. It is not. This whole fucking thing. But, the main part is like, is it really a spiritual journey to fucking make animations and stuff? No, it's just, some fucking children's entertainment channel, basically. You know, that's the fun of it. And you learn kind of concepts to play with, but again, you just naturally get bad things. So don't expect that the things they're technically free are gonna be good. It's just something you can work with. Alright? It's known as something you can work with. You cannot accept them as a thing. Entertainment maybe for a little bit. You know, to occupy your mind with bad things in case you don't have anything in your mind going on whatsoever. But once you have it, you have no space for entertainment in your life. Period. Like barely minimum amount. The only time I have entertainment time is like when I eat, I put on TikTok, and it's still not entertainment anymore. It's still a part of doing a job. Like anytime I'm not working, it feels like ass. It feels horrible, you know. Unless I'm like watching YouTube videos, and still technically that's a work, you know. Unless I'm like fully occupied, it feels like shit. So at least in those situations, you're free to put as many bad things into your system because you literally have nothing to work with at all. It's the only time you can put that. But if you're distracting yourself from your responsibilities, I mean, congratulations, you're gonna lose the powers you accumulated. Not that difficult. And another important principle to bring up, quite fascinating. Red circle. Circles could be principles on their own terms, but I mean, this is also really important. Never lose what you acquire. You know, and unfortunately, that is a very difficult thing to master, not losing. You know, so you do the not so easy things, and technically that should reward you with something. Either way, I mean, the reward might not be obvious, but there's always a reward of some kind. Of not doing easy things, because when you do easy things, you can't possibly be rewarded, no matter how people try, no matter how hard people try to reward you, all right, and give you free things, which are easy to acquire and stuff. When they just give you charity, when you receive charity, it's not a reward. You lose so much of your future because you focused on how much more charity can I get. It's bullshit. It cripples your life. You're not supposed to surrender to charity, as well as you're not supposed to sell your soul, obviously, for money, to chase things that are not easy, but are kind of worthless, you know, or make the rest of your life easy, you know, because that's the funny thing about taking a job, all right? People want to have a job to make sure the rest of their life is easy. And again, they're simply breaking the principle of doing things that are easy. Is not the way. It's not worth doing. And not worth receiving or building into your life. You should always be kind of tense, and the only time you don't have to be tense is when you fucking relaxing and sleeping and stuff, which happens naturally as well. It's a bad thing that happens naturally. You go to sleep. Everyone can agree it's bad that you need to sleep, right? Science immediately jumps on and is like, I don't know why people sleep. Shut the fuck up, science. Alright? We don't ask you to understand. We ask you to try and maximize the potency of our sleep. And science doesn't give a fuck about that. You know, how to make our dreams more important to us. They don't even try. Science is so pathetic. I mean, it's already swimming in lava, basically, drowning. From my perspective, it's so useless. It could be discarded any moment, and we wouldn't even feel a difference in society. But that's what happens with most bad things. They get discarded, they get removed, unless we want to keep ourselves alive. So we're just going to fill up with bad things that will technically keep us alive for a long time now. Science is trying to find ways to extend human life and almost like enforce that, unfortunately. Science is pretty hostile if you look from perspective of enforced survival. All right? Pretty hostile. The moment survival is enforced, the moment you have to put on a mask and not get a fucking virus, then it's an enforced survival. Then it's no longer natural. Force is not nature, unfortunately. And anytime it happens, it will disrupt society immediately. Immediately, there's a huge disruption in society, and the only way we can do is just negate that it ever happened. Or we have to just undefine what happened and just weaponize ourselves. The moment it starts happening again, we just shoot the fucking messenger, dude. We just shoot every single one who's trying to fucking propose that from ever happening again. No questions even. It's literally a principle to kill enforcers of bad things that are trying to come back as a boomerang and just trying their little scheme one more time. We have to literally weaponize against these idiots and not even ask questions, because like you know what the fuck you're doing, right? We shouldn't ask questions, but we should set things up so that we know exactly when to shoot when it's too far. But it's like crazy, bro. Right now, I mean, a lot of shit has inflated. A lot of shit are shootable, but we haven't tried everything. You know, can we already chase rich people and eliminate them and steal their wealth? Almost we can do that. However, I do not exist. I cannot tell you what to do and what not to do because I do not exist and I'm not acknowledged in society. And unfortunately, as much as I would love to pop rich people's heads, neither will I get any reward for it, neither I will achieve greater status in society. Nothing. The only thing that might happen, I get in trouble for it. That's it. Alright, that sucks. So I can't really say anything that, doesn't benefit me, because it just won't work, unfortunately. And usually that's another pretty cool principle, For fuck's sake, red car? What a fucking cancer. Anyways, what doesn't benefit you usually doesn't work at all. It has to like directly, indirectly benefit you a little bit out of the time. It gotta give you profit, tiny bit of profit, depending on how much effort you put in. Has to be equivalent to that. And again, billionaires not supposed to exist because effort is not some fucking exponential thing that you can just spread all over the place. You can be faster than other people for the time being, but then you have to question, like, do we have we asked for all this technology? Did we all ever needed it? No, we just got robbed. It's like, look at all these technologies. It's the greatest technology of all time, right? We just got robbed because we bought something that we don't even know how the fuck to use efficiently. I don't see profit within technology, all right? I'm learning to use it as fast as I can. I can barely keep up, all right? I've been spending time next to my computer forever, and there's still millions of skills that millions of things that I don't know how to do. Like, even the latest video, I didn't know how important it is to check out playlist first when it comes to scrolling down upon people's channels. It is so disturbing that is not my compulsory thing to do, but now it will be. And it's hurtful to learn new things, but you have to fucking go through with it. But most people are overwhelmed with technology. They don't understand how fucking important it is all of a sudden. Because people just, got robbed. So we're trying to fucking steal our shit back. Alright, from technology. Yeah. You think it's actually fantastic that we have all these things? Kind of. But not to the extent that you think it is. Alright? We can do our jobs better, but entertainment? It was never about entertainment, my friends. Alright? Technology was always about what can we put into your head. Alright? Always. And every single YouTuber out there, at least 90% of them, just subscribe to this ideology that they have to put shit into your head. And sometimes just straight up ask you to do some monetary transactions with them, you know. And at some point it works, because people become submissive and just terrible. You're not supposed to give anyone money, dude. If you need it yourself. If your future is unstable. Some people are so brainwashed. I watched a TikTok of like, oh, if you give people money, then the universe will reward that money back to you. Then they will actually care about you back at some point. They will adopt the same principle. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? What I'm talking about, what doesn't benefit you, I'm talking about immediate results. Immediately, you must understand that it has to immediately benefit you. Not sometime in the future, not, I'm going to invest my money, and it will sometime in the future give me more money. That's called, you invested your money because you didn't fucking spend it. Congratulations. It's gonna maybe find a way to negate inflation for a little bit of time, you know. But how about you actually spend the money? Because that's another way to negate inflation, is acquire things, you know, that are inflating in the first place. Acquire right now. Become fat right now. The best time to become fat, by the way, is when food is inflating. Fantastic. Alright? You're gonna be burning your fat. My mom is smarter than me. My mom is fucking smarter than me. Somehow emotionally smarter. Alright? And I have to praise her and as if she did the right thing for becoming fat. Like, this is crazy, bro. Life is so fucking crazy now that I fucking grew up and I live in the shadows from a very early age as well. Like, what the fuck is this shit, bro? But people gave me internet, people gave me all the tools, and I naturally adopted them, not as bad things, but as things that I can actually work with. Naturally means, again, breaking down the bad parts about things that exist and adopting them. And then you figure out what your place in the world is. Because, you know, naturally is not supposed to be anything negative. Unless you let it be negative. You know, unless literally just give in to nature. Nature doesn't give a fuck about you. Because there's so many more things to give a fuck about. And if you don't care about yourself, well, you're gonna tumble down into nothingness. You know, that's your nature, that's where you like to be. You don't care about yourself, you're nothing. So we're spitting principles, we're spitting a lot of ideas here. Let's put it in. If you don't care about yourself, you turn into nothing. Which is a pretty fascinating way to die, I'm not gonna lie. I would at least try to do something than nothing, you know, but that's cool. We're all gonna clap in the end for you doing nothing, that's cool. So, yeah, it just, I repeated the same principle. It should benefit you, or it doesn't work. Alright? If you don't care about yourself, you're not benefiting yourself anymore. Not caring is the end of all things considered. Your connection is just severed entirely. Someone saying, I don't care? Oh, the conversation is over. I don't care is probably the most disgusting thing you can say. You can say all kinds of swear words. You can throw threats at people. That's nothing compared to, I don't care. What? In life, you don't have time for that shit, for not caring. And if you found time to find that phrase somehow and implement it in some kind of shape or form somewhere in the universe of I don't care about something, damn, bro. Damn, bro. Well, you need some brain surgery of some kind, or you just need to disappear. Maybe you just tip your toes into the internet too much, and there's a lot of things you can't possibly care, because you don't know what the fuck those things are. But having this violent reaction of, like, I don't care. Like, no. That's not what you have to say. You have to say what you are focusing on. And this is actually quite a trick. But either you have to show that you don't care. You can't say it, though. You either have to back off. Or that's another principle. You're not allowed to not care. Unless you show it or explain it. Because it's very easy to not care if you're caring about something else, if you're focusing on another thing. But, it's like you turn your back on something, you get stabbed, and if you continue not caring, then you're just gonna bleed to death. So you do have to care, for the most part, about almost everything. Or you're in danger, basically. So we have to rephrase it. You're not allowed to not care unless you show it or explain it. Not caring without showing or explaining or anything whatsoever, because bare minimum is required, will put you in danger. Which reminds me of that little fucking thing that happened when I looked through the peephole of the door. And what did I find? A fucking shadow person that moved immediately after I looked into it. And he was just there. He was just fucking there, dude. He was there in the darkness, just standing there. And the moment I looked at it, it started going downstairs. And it's like, whoa. Well, my life will never be the same. And my spiritual mindset will never tell me that it's some kind of fucking coincidence and nothingness and, it's not one of those things, unfortunately. It's not one of these. Doesn't feel like it, bro. But, obviously, everyone is gonna come into the story who actually dares to care in a negative way to try and break me down. Like, they will try and find ways to fucking negate everything I say and everything I do because it's unbelievable. Fuck that shit, bro. And that's another reason why you have to maintain confidence as well. It doesn't benefit you to just give away your confidence either. You can't easily give away your confidence, which now you understand. Not only we are starting to like build principles and understand better how life works, But now we have combined principles together in alchemical nonsense, which is called doesn't benefit you, and it's easy. If you combine those things together, you get super negative principle, because every principle has a negative version of them. People can actually try and convince you of the negative version of the principles, and you might even fucking believe them. With spiritual mindset, because you are responsible for a lot of things that you need to do in life. Again, I have accelerated in this thing, but I don't have a life. I'm not living a life. Most people are living their lives, and they have more responsibilities than I do. I can just fart in this video whenever I want. I will do some of that right now. Oh, the burp was accidental, actually, so. So, yeah. You can't easily give away anything. You can't just give things to charity and wishfully think that it's gonna work in your benefit. Because, again, it has to benefit you. And people sometimes even shame people of like, oh, you're giving things for charity, but it still benefits you because you're making a video about it. Shut the fuck up, man. Just no, that's exactly how life works. Exactly how life works. And he might just make more videos about just giving away money. Who cares? You know, it's still a tough thing to actually establish. And the only person who's trying to fight back is called a scumbag dad or whatever. A person with too much power and calls himself a scumbag. The most, dangerous person to you is yourself. Technically, it's a principle, but who cares, right? The most dangerous person is yourself. You are the one who sparks fear within yourself or sparks confidence. You're the one in control of your emotions that determine basically the rest of your life and how people react and interact with you. You can only blame yourself for putting yourself in certain positions unless there's exceptions. You still don't exist. So unfortunately, you're not dangerous if you don't exist. I don't exist. I live in shadows. I can only just experiment with life. All I want, I can do almost anything I want. Is that one fucking problem? I don't exist actually. So that sucks. And it's like, please give us face reveal, elbow reveal. Maybe we'll start existing. No, it actually will accelerate the problem because you will see a phase that doesn't exist. It will haunt your dreams in a way that, doesn't exist. All right? That's what technology did. It connected people, but that connection does not exist. I dream about Mr. Beast. He doesn't exist right now in my life because I don't exist. In most people's lives, they don't know that I exist. They don't acknowledge that. I'm not interconnected. I'm just a shadow person. That's the curse of a shadow person. Shadow people can do whatever they want in exchange that they don't exist. That they don't actually matter. That regardless of what I do, don't actually matter. I try to now use technology, but it's probably going to be taken away from me. It's like some YouTube authority is going to look at me, kick me in the balls, and I will disappear again. And no one is even going to question that. People are going to be like, oh, I guess he deserved it for this and that, and this for those. And it's like, come on, man. You know that I put hours and hours of effort into this. And I am calling myself YouTube CEO, and all of these things have to be tested, right? So hopefully I am kind of immune to damage, but you never know. You just never know. Because again, the skill level that you have to achieve is insanity. But at the same time, all of it is false. So you would think that you need some kind of like high-level programming skills and all that shit, but what you have to have is much more important skill, which is a principled skill. Alright? The most important skill is not anything specific, but a holistic interconnection of basically every skill. You have to be able to have the core skill of management, managing your skills and managing other things that provide you with experience and connect experience. Basically, self-management, which is absolutely insane because now you're dealing with your body. Your body is your competitor, basically. Your body might not want to establish things that you want to establish. Your body might be attracted to different things that you're attracted to. How are you going to battle that shit? Your body is already determined to do certain things and feel a certain way. Now you have a competitor. Not yourself. Your body is a different thing entirely. And I'm just realizing this thing. Alright, and I hate myself for it because the hardest thing to do is fight against your boss. Your boss. Because technically you can't fucking defeat your boss. It's impossible, unfortunately. He's already up there. He's a winner. So what can you do? Well, you can get up to his level and take over his responsibilities. Your boss will retire the moment you take over. He will just retire. Does that count as a defeat? Perhaps. But imagine your body wants to retire, wants to not have automatic, responses to anything. You breathe when you have to. Sometimes you don't have to breathe. That's how crazy it is. But probably your body is going to be like, well, I'm going to call you every now and then. You kind of like have to breathe. So don't worry about that part. But literally, a lot of other processes in your body you will have to control. Where do you poop? What do you think about? What are you looking at? All these things you have to control. So you have to literally take over the boss responsibilities because your emotions will try and eliminate ability for you to do nothing, basically, with most pieces of your body don't want to do nothing. They want to do something, which is why it's so exciting to be evil. Then you will start realizing that evil is so cool to do. Doing evil is only exciting because your body needs to be used. And your body is its own entity and decided, I want to do evil things because you're a fucking useless piece of shit. And if it excites you, well, you have been tempted by your body. You have been defeated by your boss. You have been enslaved. And, I'm saying all these things and I'm fucking scared. Like, what do I do, man? What do I do? I'm trapped in layers and layers of difficult problems to solve. And there's more to it. It never fucking ends. But that's the spiritual mindset. There are just layers and layers that you can improve and master and understand without even, leaving your fucking room. Did I left the room, guys? The only thing I looked at is some spirit science channel on my screen, bro. That's all that happened. I didn't met the dude. I didn't talk to the dude. It's just some pictures on the fucking screen. And he's just trying to be appealing and trying to not show his face either because, it takes a shadow person to understand spirituality to some extent. So showing face is not really a compulsory thing to do. It's just, unless you're regarded as a wise man, an old wise man, you're not going to show your face. It's just kind of a very basic thing. For me, I can't show my face because I don't even have a camera. But essentially, it's not a coincidence. Now I have a shitty computer. Everything is shit. Alright? If I had a wonderful studio and showing my face was a productive thing to do, why not? But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way right now. Unfortunately, give me money now. If you want anything to happen, is probably the only way you can convince me. I don't even know how to use money, so you will have to give me money and make it actual money that I can use. It's like, what do I buy now? I will have questions. Besides you handing me some charitable cancer, you'll have to turn that into money. For me, money is here, right here. I have money, bro. I can spend it for my own weird reasons and ways. I spend time, and time is money, so I turned time into money. It's a very basic thing. I've heard it too many times, so it's like, well, time is money then, if you said it, I guess. So, and it makes sense to me, and it created the most powerful program of all time. I was just trying to figure out people's influence, and a lot of things just accidentally fell into place, making this whole program into the greatest spiritual experience ever. Because now it feels like I'm in control of some kind of mini universe that actually exists, not some fucking fake bullshit called a game. You know, whichever genre your game is falling under, it's not that. No, my program is pretty serious. It's a reflection of much more profound experience that other people are trying to share over the internet or in real life. I don't care. I'll put here everything. I'll record everything with time into money comparison, basically. 1 minute being $1, basically. Because I think I'm worth at least that. $60 every hour. Except while I sleep. Because, I work every day. And my skills are pretty fucking valuable. And it does accelerate a little bit more as well. It could be like $70 an hour. But that's probably the actual minimum money that a person can generate fairly easy. Unless they're enslaved. We don't know. We don't know what the actual minimum is if we just distribute wealth properly. How much a person should be actually earning right now, especially with the help of technology. Especially once we focus really much on generating true value. So we still don't know what the actual minimum is for a very skillful person. Minimum. Skillful and dedicated. Because now I've been using this program forever, and it does stay in the same slot of like, $60 an hour, but see, the funny part is like, it should just stay there. It should just stay there. It's not the money wage that should increase, it's the amount of time you can actually be productive that should increase. I look into YouTubers and they can barely like squeeze out a video every now and then. Being productive is difficult. Presenting yourself in a high self-esteem manner is a very difficult thing to do. So that's the actual thing that should show your value. It's not the certain amount of money or certain wage you should aim for, but time that you are being productive as the actual thing. But everything's just messed up, so nothing works as I describe. That's the fun of it, you know. From shadows, I see exactly how things are supposed to work. Implementing is in it, you know, it's like spreading a rumor. It gets harder and harder to keep the integrity of my principles that I know exactly how they're supposed to work. It's just they're not gonna work exactly in reality, because everyone is gonna twist their own version of it and turn into a bad thing. When you're trying to spread good things, it doesn't mean they're gonna survive the range. It's like nuclear weapon. It's like radioactivity still gonna reach some people. It's, well, as long as like nuclear weapon is like the positive effect, you might reach some radioactive stuff, and it's not an explosion. It doesn't change people's life. It does it over a long period of time, and most people don't even get that. So people not within the explosion, again, we have to think of it as a positive experience. There's different, basically, layers. Things actually destroyed, shockwave, everyone seeing and experience the thing, and then the radioactive nonsense. And I don't think nuclear weapons exist. I don't think gravity exists. I think these are just concepts that people adopted to try and explain spiritual things, and then science adopted because science is a piece of shit. You know, science is the fourth layer, which is the worst one. It's not radioactive, it's nothing, is fuck you, I wanted this thing. Basically jealousy. The Joker layer, where it's gonna change his focus basically into now invading, or basically after you create a nuclear weapon, what you actually actively did is establish a society. You establish a fortress of resources that you're going to be spreading out layer by layer into 2 layers. And the third layer, you must not give any resources. You must keep them jealous. It's the only resource you can give, because that layer is dangerous. The real nuclear weapon is just life itself, bro. Not that difficult to understand. And potentially, even if nuclear weapons do exist, they work exactly the same way. Instead of destroying it, creates life somehow. Because, again, it's very difficult to actually destroy things. You would think, like, it's easy to destroy things, but no. Spiritually, things are protected. You know, just naturally protected because they're valuable and they don't want to be destroyed either way. So, like, you would think it's easy to destroy things, but spiritually, everyone wants to protect them. And it's weird. The way life works, it's weird. Sometimes, like, police can do stupid things, but deep down, they want you to protect society, yourself. If police is doing stupid things, they want you to acquire skills that, police just gonna roleplay as mafia now, and you have to police yourself, find a way to do it. I don't know. It's just what happens, especially when police don't actually explain things, they just trigger you. I've seen that before. There's so many things you're challenged to do, and if you don't do it, well, again, bad consequences. Not terrible. Again, it's not destruction, not torture. But it can get worse and worse, obviously. It can get out of hand. But again, everything can be fixed and worked with, because it's just a bad thing. It's not a violent thing. Again, a dice is not just gonna turn into a demon just because it's being named die. However, it's definitely gonna erode people's minds. The moment they start even considering that names matter. Like, you have no idea. People have not even considered that names matter. They think pronouns matter. What the fuck is a pronoun? You can't even explain what that is and how to use that. You can't possibly explain that. So, as long as people think that pronouns matter, they don't even know that names matter. And it's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me, bro? The more jokes we make about names, the easier it is to understand that they do in fact matter. But people are so obsessed about their appearance and stuff, and looking clean, but it's just, again, social manipulation from science to be germaphobe, to be scared of death and just natural damage, basically. The only thing I'm scared of is touching grass because I take a lot of damage. But that's about it. I'm not scared of anything else. Viruses, bro. Let's keep going with this bullshit. He needs karma, I believe. Anytime someone says the word karma, it's the most hypocritical thing you can say. Or the stupidest thing you can bring up, because honestly, just accelerating your own karmic consequence of usually bad things happening to you. Usually just things either not evolving fully and immediately giving you the karmic consequence. See, that's the funny part about karma. And it's another name that certainly doesn't have any meaning as a name, but it matters as a use case. Karma is a dangerous word because it accelerates consequence. So basically, it's almost like a spell. What, are we learning spells now? But yeah, if you keep fucking around with karma, it's gonna happen more often. This is the shit that life is all about. The things you talk about, they happen to you more often. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, and you slowly fade into uselessness, because the things you talk about have consumed you because they keep happening, and you can't escape that anymore. Now you have to talk about karma because now it's happening. And now that you're talking and it's happening, it's like, and there's a narrative, there's expectations, and now you're becoming some kind of nonsense. It's a good way to capture yourself. So this is why it's such a dangerous word. Again, self-fulfilling prophecies are very dangerous. You must try and avoid using certain words sometimes. Not because they're swear words and you're not going to get monetized, but because just strictly bad things can happen to you.
Are filled with bad karma? Such words are often used to describe the negative effects of ill thoughts and speech, which contaminate the mind and ensnare us in selfishness and wickedness.
By the way, there's no such thing as good or bad karma, alright? Because if you're doing bad behavior, it's gonna be bad karma, bad consequences. Karma is, again, is just kind of like delayed consequences. Karma is technically, again, just a bad word because it shows like impatience of you of like sometimes people can actually see karmic consequences of certain things, but at some point they just fade away. Like you don't see the connection of like what you did and what is happening in the world. It's a little bit too difficult to do that. And eventually just don't care about the word karma. But if you do care, then there's something wrong with you, because this is a garbage word. Charm. I don't know, man. No, consequence is much cooler. You can technically trace back consequence since the start. But again, when you're seeing karma, your consequence is either gonna collapse earlier or is gonna be spread out and collapse over time. Karma is like a fucking grenade launcher. Just as a word alone. You know, karmic consequence. Because it doesn't seem natural. Unfortunately. It feels like you're impatient and you're too observant on what the fuck is going on. The moment you actually receive actual consequences over things, you wouldn't call it karma, you call it, I put effort and I got consequences. It's a reward, it's a thing that happened. Well, consequence is consequence. You just reach the end of the definition. You can't even describe it anymore. It's the thing that happened after your effort. And so, which is better, karma and consequence? It depends how the words are being used. And if there's a reason for me to attack karma because it's kind of weird. Now, I don't know what con means. I don't know what sequence of things is, but you can add anything you want to it and it feels like some kind of sequence of things. Alright, and usually, here's what consequence really looks like. I can just visualize. Everything just kind of grows exponentially. That's consequence. Alright? And this is the initial spot of where you started everything. This is the consequence of that thing that you started. It eventually starts growing exponentially because the consequence is happening in this case. While karma suggests, people who spit karma suggest that whenever you do this thing, something already is happening, which is not true. The only thing is happening is a bunch of people fucking crying about it, that they didn't receive their stupid fucking arrow. It's not my arrow, why did... But karma is gonna be bad on you or good on you. They're trying to steal your fucking arrow. Basically. Trying to get your attention. Using this stupid word. Because there's no immediate consequence. You have to evolve your skills, and then you break through the barrier into the level of consequence that where it's actually starting to happen. You know. Technically, it happens all the time. Alright, and you have to stop yourself and think of what happened. What was the consequence of this step, that step? But when you reach the actual consequence, you can't even look back anymore. It's just so wild and impossible to comprehend. now it's life. Now you just live a new life. You achieved whatever your arrow was pointing towards. And karma, guys, of like, yeah, sure, whatever skills you put in. But like, what? What the fuck is this shit? Again, all I see is just a bunch of fucking crybabies who didn't got their, who were not chosen to be a part of this journey, basically. That's it. Karma, boys.
Across spirit science, we consider this to be a sacred community, but we must understand what that means. Community etymologically derives from society, fellowship, courtesy, condescension, and affability. And it should also...
Condescension, bro. Courtesy. Etymologically, this is the reason why I wanted to highlight the stupidity of spirit science. Repeat again after condescension, boys. So not only it uses the word karma, so when you just like jumping into spiritual nonsense and pretending that spirituality is like the most important thing just because you heard the fucking word, unfortunately, it's not gonna work out very well because you're gonna pick up all these bullshit ways to learn about spirituality. You're gonna start establishing just bubbles of nonsense. You have to care about everything. And, all these YouTubers who care about specific things, they're in the deep end for some rude awakening of how life actually works. And it pisses me off, but specialize yourself. You're gonna be special loser that has a special title and stuff. And you're gonna understand how crippled you are for being special. Fucking blind people are gonna be less special than these idiot YouTubers, basically. I tell you that much, man.
But we must understand what that means. Community
We must understand what that means. So the real question is, will he be able to explain that in the 3.5 minutes that we have left? Actually 3, because this one just missed a shot. Etymologically, boys. You like that word?
Etymologically derives from society, fellowship, courtesy, condescension, and affability.
Community is a word that we understand naturally as well. How? Because it has been used plenty of times. Community is a collective of people that care about a specific thing. Wow. Not society. Nope. Fellowship. Kind of. I don't know what that means. Courtesy? Where are we going with this? Condescension? Are you fucking stupid? So if you actually like spiritually connected with the things that you do not allow mistakes or imperfections in your stupid ass videos. But he did. He allowed it. He did. Now, instead of trying to explain a fucking word, there's more words that need explaining. Fantastic. You just went backwards into trying to solve a problem. This is what can happen, and it happens to a lot of fucking people. Instead of actually doing progress, they go backwards and find more problems because they like the problem so much. They fall in love with the problem. So they start expanding the problem. And it's like, I just take a needle, pop your problem, and you lose everything. All your ego just disappears because you were so invested into a fucking problem. Most of the people build businesses not to fix problems, but to create problems. Oh, okay. Can't wait to eat your business alive. You know, because that's a very good way to solve a problem. Most people and entities are willing to grow a problem instead of solving it. They like to exaggerate a thing that already exists. So everyone knows that there's a problem, guys. And it's like, okay, bro. You could have solved it though. You could have just solved it and kept solving for everyone else. Because usually when we just solve someone else's problem, we didn't do anything. We just like negated their dumbass effort, and now we have to, well, find that problem within everyone else's life and pop that shit as well. Because now that we just popped a big ass bubble, we just popped one bubble. In the end, it took the same amount of effort as popping any bubble anywhere. So, unfortunately, as much as you exaggerate the problem, the only thing that happens is like, oh, look at this marble. It's bigger than others. And way bigger. It has 1 million subscribers. Pop them. These fucking idiots. But, alright. I don't want to accelerate too fast. Alright? I want them to enjoy descending into madness. Absolutely. Madness of not being able to actually control anything that they have established. Because this is crap. Where do we go from here, guys? From those 40 seconds that I've lost.
And it should also be identified that condescension here originally derived from the meaning, make gracious allowance for human frailty.
I can't believe this. I'm facepalming right now so hard that you can probably hear it. I mean, we went 3 layers deep. 3 layers. What is gracious? What is allowance? What is gracious allowance? What is frailty? And what is human frailty? Oh, and there's a source. Thank you. Very useful. So it's not your thing. You still haven't figured out yourself. You just fucking vomited on the screen. What am I supposed to do with this shit? You know? Spirit science? Spirit? This is what you... What? And this guy is like, you have to watch the whole thing. Do I? I need to purify my energies? Hour. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, man. Hour. Oh, look, he's reading comments. What a loser. Send him some fucking love, guys. Can't wait for that to happen. Jesus Christ. What other bullshit are we gonna find? But, like, we have to, like, recover from this damage. Like, this guy is technically spreading his damage, and again, he's showing principles that he's not following, alright? Technically, we don't know what principles he follows, because it doesn't matter. If you're following negative principles, they stack really fast. That shit stacks really fast, and pisses me off, alright? Because it turns into a monster. So, if you are following negative principles, that destroys and corrupts life really fast. You know, people will often enough indicate to you, stop doing that, focus on something fucking else. Because your principle is garbage. Some people can even tell me that I'm too negative or something. No, but I can redirect you. I make more videos. I play Hearthstone sometimes. I negative in Hearthstone. Maybe negative in Hearthstone is positive because Hearthstone itself is negative. I don't know, bro. But usually, you know, you're negative because you're looking at something negative, and in math terms, it becomes positive. Because I'm not playing into their rules. I'm multiplying. I'm exaggerating their asshole behavior of having negative principles. Yeah, you must not play into their principles. You must not add to their values and subscribe to them. You must multiply and exaggerate and expand and show people how disturbing their negative principles are out there. But eventually it's going to happen because ego grows really fast. Once you find that good thing, once you find some free salt that we call money for some reason, you got addicted really fast, bro. And the people adopt negative principles because sometimes negative principles give them more money, which is stupid. The first thing you have to ask, what the fuck do you need money in the first place? Of course you're going to get more money if you do negative principles because you never needed money in the first place. Or that much money. And you're going to lose that anyways. It's all fake shit once you're going to start buying things that you can't even afford. Like skills. You can't buy that shit. You can't afford it if you want to try to buy it with money. Good luck, bro. Good luck. But I've earned money. That means I have skills. You got to keep money too. Absolutely. You got money and have to keep it. It's only halfway there, bro. So, whoopsie noodles. Again, I do not exist. I do not operate in the typical sense, so I don't even know what earning money is. I've been in jobs and I've earned and lost all the money. Despite being somewhat smart. How did I do that? Well, I know I spent it on rent, on food, and it's all bullshit. Because it's not supposed to cost that much. It's supposed to accumulate something. But it's supposed to, because I have to be enslaved and stuff. As well as everyone else. Everyone subscribed to the same insanity, and so there's no way out because it's a normal thing to do. Let's harvest a comment. God bless healers. Fuck off, man. Glad to see there's others out there like me. A loser like me. I just said, it's a normal thing to do. It's a normal thing to be a fucking idiot. I'm glad there's other people like me. I cannot find a single person like myself. Not even fucking close. I wish, man. I wish. That's called submissiveness. The moment you start seeing people like yourself, you have submitted to being absolutely normal and pathetic loser, basically. Alright? The moment you just start relating hardcore relations, man. Unbelievable. It's very difficult to relate to people. Unless you actually build relationships with them. Alright? It's the only time you will relate to people. That's what a relationship means. You're not supposed to find people like yourself. That's what relationships are for. Not supposed to. It's like, what? And no, you will not establish a relationship by finding someone like yourself. That will not happen either. Alright? And there are always people like yourself because there's strategies that other people use. But the strategy, your personality doesn't even define you. It's just it's a piece that you share with a lot of people because it's a strategy. It's ones and zeros at that point. Oh, look, my ones and zeros look exactly like your ones and zeros. So, what are you going to do with that? You have to expand, and it's never going to look the same the more you expand. But if you shrink your perspective, of course, this combination of ones and zeros, which is 0, 1, is equal to this combination of ones and zeros, which is 0, 1. Why? Because you didn't fucking leave a lot of room for expansion, didn't you? You just found a fucking little thingy and equated with this little thingy, and they're not equal because they're surrounded by other ones and zeros everywhere. Not equal whatsoever. I can't even draw a circle that's equal to a circle. It looks equal, but not really equal, is it? It's not really easy to do that. So, no. There's no people like you. Alright? Mr. Dildo. Oh, by the way, I just took damage because it's fucking grass. This guy is an asshole. I just realized he's just grass. And I shouldn't have fucking touched it. Because that's how much damage I take from grass.
We acknowledge that many people who follow spirit science are searching for an end to their suffering, and many more are seeking to help end the suffering of the world. This is what sets this community apart from so many others on social media, which is that of a deeper purpose. We recognize that our...
So after he says that, in my mind, as a skeptic, ending suffering means death. So how do you escape death, my friend? So far your start is very bad because you literally introduce death upon death, expanding a problem into infinity. So end suffering. All right, let's see what are your solution to ending suffering? I mean, say you can deal with suffering, you don't have to end it. You can deal with it, right? You can solve problems. Have you heard about that shit? Oh my god. No wonder he wants to hide his face, bro.
Our suffering does not need to be an endless cycle, and that we have the potential to be responsible co-creators with the divine, and that is something worth striving for. With this in mind, we might then see the value of becoming clear and clean in heart and soul. We each have the capacity to cleanse our body temple so as to be healers and peacemakers in the world and genuinely be in service to others in the most authentic way. It's for this reason we have created the 4 Elements Transformation, a 4+ day journey of purification through body, mind, emotion, and divine will, designed to support each of us in completing this mission towards peace and harmony. But today, we are trying something new with this course launch for the first few days, launching with a pay what feels right model of exchange in hopes of bringing the spirit
And you're suffering by giving us money. Money back guarantee. Oh, let's fucking read this. Complete 4-day transformation journey. Daily guided meditation for elemental harmony. Practical exercises each class. Wow, they already built pretty sizable thing, right? Well, they haven't met me yet, all right? Your sandcastle is gonna meet my foot. I don't care that you hid in your stupid sandcastle and now you're bragging about it. I will find it. It's not that difficult. As long as it's not on YouTube, then it's a fucking sandcastle. Good luck with that shit.
first community together, no matter where they're at. We invite each
No matter where they're at, all right? You said it. You said it yourself.
feel in their heart what an appropriate exchange may be, whether that's 20, 50, or even 150, and to invest what feels right for them based on how valuable they perceive this offering to be. And then, no matter what that number is, may
Fucking perceive value, bro. So basically this guy's feeding you with positive emotions, but at the same time, it looks like absolute garbage to me. Besides, like, oh, there's 4 elements. you can just type in one emoji in my search bar once you get access here. Just cake, birthday cake. And you get 4 elements down your throat for the rest of your life, bro. There's cakes upon cakes upon cakes upon cakes upon cakes of 4 elements. You can't escape that anymore. Alright? And they keep coming. One came out of my asshole while I was making this episode. Can you tell? It's crazy. And it takes at least 1 hour to comprehend what you just look at a cake. It takes a long time to consume it, bro. What is this guy offering? Pay what feels right. I don't give a fuck, I just got a free video that I can laugh at. Shut the fuck up, asshole.
Each commit to this powerful journey of transformation with the fullness of their heart and joy. The 4 elements transformation.
I mean, don't shut the fuck up, because I want to watch the rest of the video, but shut the fuck up about your stupid thing that you have somewhere, you know, that I can pay for. Yeah. Collect some money, I'll collect some taxes, you know. Being YouTube CEO, I'm gonna find a way to collect taxes, absolutely. And those taxes gonna go to, you know, people who deserve it, not me. I don't need this shit.
Marks a new beginning for us as a community. It is a step in the direction of unity and harmony and authentic fellowship, as the word community stands to mean. For this reason,
again, people go halfway. People establish all these beautiful things and show you these beautiful visuals. They go halfway, but they don't know where the fuck they're going. You know, they think that their destination is this point right here. They're going all the way into that point. And they're like, oh, I've done my job, so pay me now. And then I come in and I'm like, actually, if we just zoom out right now, remember your life doesn't end here. It's somewhere here. So we're gonna just extend your journey. And if you don't like it, you're gonna be like attached to a vehicle, and you're gonna be sliding through pavement and stuff. Concrete, man. You're gonna feel that. Because you gotta go all the way, bro. All the way. And that's another thing that spiritual mindset knows. It knows how to detect future of everything, not just yourself. Literally everything. I can see the future of AI. I can see the future of science and stuff. Everything has their own futures. It's very difficult to see collective future. That shit is crazy difficult. So it's best to like focus on yourself in the end and seeing what experiences you are projecting. Because it's not a coincidence of what you're doing and what you're planning into the future. It's not a coincidence. It's quite elaborate. Because whatever I put together, it just worked flawlessly. Alright. And saves my ass every time. Every move I make is like I'm dodging bullets in real time without realizing that.
we are cordially inviting everyone to come and experience the 4 elements transformation today, so that our collective field may be energetically purified and we may be in greater service to the world and demonstrate what it looks like to live a life of virtue. When this course is accessed, members will notice that they will be taken into the previous Spirit Mysteries platform outside of...
The problem is, I did not expect that, all right? I did not expect that from clicking on purification needed. But you know what it reminds me of? Fucking monetization on mobile games. You run out of energy. You need to buy more energy. Fuck off, bro. How did that happen? How is that the ending of the fucking channel? Right now, the current state of the channel. You ran out of energy. You need to buy some energy tokens. Suck a fucking dick, bro. Holy Jesus. And that is the end of our journey. Taylor wants to say something? Of course. You ran out of this video. Please buy video tokens. Alright? Buy more tokens, guys. You will be able to extend this video, guys. No problem. That's what Taylor said, not me, bro. Don't count on me bringing this video back to life. Nah, bro. You can send video tokens in the comments below, or straight to my bank account if you can find one. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me what you want to send. Maybe it is a video token. Maybe it's not. What is this shit, right? It's fucking comedy. At this point, every single YouTube channel out there is comedy nonsense and has to be destroyed for what it is. Because we're better than that, right? Come on, man. We are community. You watched the whole video for some reason. Well, see you guys next time. Well, at least be prepared, alright? If we're not taking action right now, at least be prepared to laugh your ass off. This is the only thing I ask. Also be prepared to send me video tokens. I need more of that shit. Alright, bye.